My garden has a lot of weeds, but it especially has a lot of these docks. And I was looking at these the other day and thought, you know what? In size and shape, they're remarkably similar to willow whips that you use for weaving. So I'm going to collect some of these, dry them out, soak them off, and have a go at weaving them into some baskets. What do you reckon? Can you make baskets out of dockweed? The first step, of course, is going to be collection. So just any of these lovely long docks. Take some secateurs or clippers. Can't find my secateurs today. Just clip them off and then start a heap. Here's a good sized pile ready for stripping. I have more I could harvest, but I have to be back at work in half an hour. So this is about as many as I can manage for now. I'm collecting the dock leaves as I go in this bucket, not just for ease of tidying up, but also because docks have a lovely deep taproot that draws nutrients from deep within the soil. These nutrients are then stored in their leaves, and if you take rainwater and pour it over the leaves and stew it into a sort of tea, you can then apply that as a feed to your plants. It's been about 3 weeks since I bundled these guys up and put them in the shed, and as you can hear, they're really nice and crunchy crispy. They've shrunk quite a lot. I know that docks shrink a lot because I tried to make some shoes out of them a couple of years ago and used them green, and they shrunk loads. So what I'm going to do now is have my nightly shower. It's boiling hot today and I've been at work, so I stink. And I'm going to put the plug in my shower and put these guys in afterwards when I get out so they can soak overnight. In the bathroom, I'm going to leave a big black bin like this so that in the morning they can just go in there and I can continue to soak them a bit until I'm ready to work with them in the day. Exciting. After a long soak, the stems were kind of flexible, but not really. You could bend them a little bit. It's time to begin making the basket, so I'm starting here with a circular base. So this involved splitting some of my stems open in the middle, and you're supposed to do this with a tool called a bodkin, which I do not own. So I used a paring knife from the kitchen instead and tried not to stab myself. I was successful. No roos were stabbed in the making of this basket base, and as you can see, I got my cross formed. After that, it was time to make the actual weaving whips. So you select some long, flexible ones and hope that they don't snap. And then I was just following along with these instructions that I found online. I will link the videos that I used to learn from in the description below. I wanted this video to have lots of lovely ambient weaving sounds, but unfortunately my microphone malfunctioned and I ended up with a lot of corrupted audio. So I've only got little bits here and there where you can hear me weaving. Look at that! It's actually starting to look like a basket base. I'm getting the hang of it. Celebrated too early. I've got a broken spoke now.
It's a good idea to stagger your butt joints around the base. If I have all my butts on one side, it will be kind of more of an oval shape on this side. I'm going to spread my butt joints.
So that's my base done. As you can see, it's not 100% even. I have different spacing towards the middle, but I think it's pretty good. It smells really nice. It smells like sort of soft hay and summer. The next stage is going to be putting uprights in and then weaving the sides. This bit is where things got really tricky and physical. It was a lot like wrestling sort of a giant wooden spider. I tried tying the stems together at the top as suggested, but it just made it even more difficult to weave the not so flexible stems in and out. The weaving pattern I'm doing here at the base of the basket is called a 3-rod wale, and it's a pattern that's supposed to help with spacing out your spokes so that they're correctly spaced and will form an even shaped basket.
Medicine, then come to our website and you can see a huge number of different opportunities. And we'd love to have you.
The hot weather will no doubt increase demand further. The search is on for more recruits to help the service cope. Mark Ashdown, BBC London.
Use online support after.
After a while working one weaving pattern, you do kind of get this muscle memory and understand where you are. But I found that because these aren't natural to me yet, once I switched back to another weaving pattern, I found it very difficult and I kept having to pause and think about what my next step was. It's not muscle memory like knitting and crochet are to me yet.
Did you want tea?
No, I just made myself a blackcurrant. At this point, I'd really realised that I just wanted to be done. Also, the basket kind of seemed to be in a good stopping point. So I started breaking and folding over the top to make the top edge. Look at that, that's pretty good, huh? For handles, I grabbed some pieces of freshly cut hazel from our hazel in the garden. They were still very green, so very flexible and able to bend into a nice handle curve. And then I tried doing this sort of wiggly bit out of some leftover dock, but it didn't really stay on the handle. After that, of course, to show off my basket, it was time to strut my stuff. And now it's time for the worst part of making anything, the cleanup. There are sticks everywhere. So it's gone midnight and that's my job now, is cleaning up this mess. I hope you enjoyed watching me weave with duckweeds. It was my first time doing this and I'm really happy with how it turned out. So if you like working with natural materials, gardening, solar punky things, please subscribe to my channel. I'm going to keep doing things like this and maybe suggest the next natural craft for me to try in the comments below. I'll see you next time. Bye bye. Hi, Gamps. I'm going to take these. Thank you.